Go ahead, ask them how they are.
How's everyone doing? Scott Bergeron is watching.
Yes, I am.
Hey, Robert, congratulations on a new baby.
Look at that. Zach Wilkowitz is already in the house. That guy's a wicked fan of the show. Just waiting on the old 7 o'clock tick. We got that. You ready?
Ready.
I'm Scott.
I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate. So, Don, as always, it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a sweaty show because the AC is not working that great at Old Colonel Oberski at 24711 Michigan Avenue. I got sweat pouring down my face.
You're sweaty as it is anyway.
I know, I'm sweaty. As long as I'm not smelly, I don't care, right?
Yeah.
As long as we're not smelly.
You better hurry up with this show then.
Wow, it's getting rough in here. Good Lord.
Throwing him under the bus.
So, tell them what the show is going to look like today.
All right, so...
You know what? Before you do, though, I got something I want to mention first.
Okay.
So, 750 of you at least had seen our commercial featuring Lisa Boyce. I've had Antonozzi in the house. And she is a star waiting to be happening there. So, you may see her on future episodes of Talking Real Estate because the viewership of the commercial went way over the roof when Lisa got involved.
Yeah.
And it was good food from Sam over at Sahara. So Sam at Sahara is a good man. So I just wanted to get that out, Don. Folks, realize, too, commercials are as fun for us as they are for you. Bill Polk, you got another story about you today, buddy, too. So realize that commercials are a fun part of what we're going to do. We're going to do one every week. So plan on seeing one on Monday. If you haven't joined Talking Real Estate, the group, it'll definitely be in there as well. So we're going to get ridiculous. That's going to be a ridiculous part of our every week thing. So the commercials, if you like them, put comments in there. We love the commercials. Give us some hearts or some thumbs up or something like that. And know that we're going to constantly be working on better commercials all the time. So,
trying to be funny or no, not even.
Laughs. We like laughs, okay? We like the fact that we entertain you. We're trying to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hey, I want to reach out to a couple that I sold a house to recently. Robert and Abby Kelly, they had a baby last night. I think 12 midnight last night, yeah. And so I want to say congratulations to you, Robert, and to you, Abby. And
did they name the baby? If it was a boy, they name him Don. That's the big question. Did they name their child Don? We'll see. We'll see. So also, folks,
Kevin Logan, how you doing, bud?
So also, folks, where are you chiming in from? I got Shelly Gambino from Dearborn Heights. I see her. Zach Wilkowitz of Riverview. Where are you chiming in from? Tell us what's going on. Give us the bang, the boom, the pow.
Okay, so let's big picture overall. What are we going to cover today? Of course, we have our weekly this week in the market.
Yep.
Boy, I was a little tongue-tied there. Where you're watching from, which you already touched base on. We're going to go over how to buy a new construction home. City Spotlight. Shall we divulge? No, we'll wait a little while. Let's wait.
We'll give you. We got to keep it a little bit of a secret. Bit of a secret.
Fan of the show, and then for sale by owners. You're going to be talking about that topic.
Of course we do.
Okay,
we definitely got that.
Let's talk about this week in the market. So, what do you? I mean, we're seeing the same thing we have for the last 3 weeks or so since we were able to come back to work. It's hot.
It is.
And not only the temperature outside, but it's hot in the market.
We're not just talking about this. So, Don, I think as far as numbers go, we talked to our broker, Adam Oberski, who's a fine man in his own right, and he gave us this insight that I think 377.
No.
What was it?
At the end of May of 2020, we
Yep.
had 331 homes pending. And at the end of the year 2019, we had 278. So we have 60 more homes pending this year, this May 2020 versus May 2019.
And that's just in our firm, okay? That's not talking all over the place. Yeah. Lisa Boyce, the celebrities, even watching today. We gave you a shout out about that fancy commercial girl. So what Don and I are getting at is our firm alone has 60, 70 more pending homes now than
a year ago.
So the market's even hotter than last year. So one thing I can say, Don, is I told you so. I told you guys, I told you the whole time of this coronavirus crap that, and again, I don't make light of it, that the market was going to explode once people could get out. Now, here's the next question, Don. The Monday, the governor has kind of let the dogs out, and you can do all kinds of crazy stuff Monday.
What's that song? Woo, woo. Who let the dogs out?
Wow, that was pretty big. Can you dance to that one too? We'd love to see that. So, my first question, Don, are you going to a restaurant on Monday?
I met my wife asked me about that. I mentioned that to her, and I said she asked me about that. What do you think about that? And I said, well, should I make reservations now or should we wait until the morning? Because we had talked about it that night. And she goes, I'm kind of concerned about too many people in a restaurant or something like that. I go, well, I think there'll be social distancing in there, and so
let me know, because wherever you go,
made a decision yet.
Wherever you go, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna heckle your wife from wherever you go.
We didn't talk about it further.
So I can tell you guys where I'm gonna be Monday night. I am gonna be at Roma Cafe downtown, or not downtown, Eastern Market, basically. Yeah.
So I have good friends that go to Roma. They know the owners of Roma, the old owners.
Yeah.
Sherry Burns, who's watching tonight. By the way, congratulations, Grandma, for I think the second time. They go down there quite a bit too. So
man,
so they know they love it down there too.
Don Lawrence knows everybody. I mean, like he's the godfather of real estate, I guess. So
yeah.
All right, so let's talk about some more about the market, though. I mean, I talked to another. Again, I always go to what I talk to agents and what they say and stuff like that. So it's definitely a seller's market. So if you're thinking about selling, have one of us come out and take a look at the house and give you a market analysis. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm even, and you know me, Don, I'm pretty much a stickler for here's what the price, the value of your home is. I'm even kind of loosening up on that a little bit, which is a lot for me.
In what sense?
And I'm going, somebody comes back, I go, well, here's the numbers between this and that. Let's say, like as you say, it's between 3 and 315. And they come back, well, what about 320? I go, oh, okay. In this market, I'm kind of letting it loose a little bit. Because there's definitely lots of craziness going on. So
yeah, it's a good thing. Everything's are good out there.
Yeah.
So next up we have how to buy a new construction home. So, and the reason why this came up, I'm going to discuss this. The reason why this came up is I have somebody looking at new construction, and I had sold a couple last year, a couple new constructions the last few years, and these are experiences I've had with new construction builders and stuff. So,
sure. So down, let me
small ones and big ones. There's some small builders out there that do a couple houses a year, and then there's some that do 40 or 50, maybe 60. Depends on like Pulte does 100 or more in our area.
So let me throw in on this a little bit too. I always temper new construction. Folks talk about new construction. I always temper it with this, that it is a headache and a half. Most times, a lot of times, it's a headache and a half because you got to be on the builder's case all the time and stuff. So I always temper it. If you can find a used home or not a brand new build that fits your needs, that's always going to be an easier route for you. But some people just, they want it the way they want it, the way they want it, which, okay, that's how it goes too.
Yeah, but sometimes I think people want to be the first or only one in that house, and it's just like getting a new car.
Right.
You want to be in that house.
So let me ask you this, is the markup higher on that though?
Not necessarily, because I think that, you're getting a new modern style floor plan, modern amenities, and you don't have to worry about doing anything on it for 10 years.
But what if you're old school? Then what do you do, modern boy?
If you're old school, you don't even look at new construction.
That's right. You look at old homes.
So I think everybody it's obviously for the person who chooses that wants something new, they don't have to do anything to.
Okay.
Drop the furniture, and there's some warranties. We'll go over that in a few minutes. So
right. So Don's going to give you. He's going to give you the 6 pointers on that. But before he does, we want to know if you're building your dream house, what's the one feature that you would love to have in your dream house? What would that be? What would the feature in your dream house? What would that be? Would it be like one of those rain showers or something like that? What would it be? You know what I mean? So, or would it be like
outdoor kitchen?
Outdoor kitchen,
Outdoor kitchen,
you know what that's from?
awesome.
You know how many people have come to me and said backyard oasis this week?
Yeah.
Everybody's throwing the backyard oasis. I think we just coined that phrase.
That was a very good
backyard oasis.
Yeah.
So, what's your dream? In the comments below, put what's your feature. If you were building a dream home, what would you want? What's the one thing you'd be like, if I could just have this, I always dreamed about this. So throw that in the comments for us.
Okay. All right. So how to buy a new construction home. So one of the things that a lot of people may think that they need to go to the builder directly to purchase the home. And that's not the best decision. You want to have an agent represent you. And a builder will want a buyer to be represented by another agent. They're okay with that. They cooperate with other agents. The agent that works for the builder works for the builder. The one in the model works for the builder. So you want to have somebody on your side that's going to be able to go through the contract with you. For example, our purchase agreement for used homes are about 5 pages long. For a contractor, for a builder, they're much longer. They could be 10, 12, 13 pages longer. And there's a lot of fine details in there that cover them and protect them, not so much you. So you really want somebody that can read all that, goes through over it line by line. We know our contracts backward, forward, and sideways.
And even upside down.
And on builders, I've sold it, like I said, 2 or 3 last year. And the builders, they have different contracts. Each builder has a different contract, and they have different things that they require. So it's really important to have a second pair of eyes on it and take a look at it, and that can help you with it.
So guys, remember, this is always a rule of thumb from Don and I. We're always going to give you these little rules of thumb. You want buyer representation. There's a reason why buyer's agents are around. I mean, 20 years ago they weren't around, right? Because you want somebody representing you. Not the listing agent on a used home, not the listing agent that's taking care of a builder. You want somebody representing you. That's a good thing.
You're their fiduciary responsibility. So, okay, number 2 is research the builder. This is probably a boring drag to do, but it's probably the most important thing. Is you want to make sure you find a good builder. And when you research them on the internet, you're going to find comments, testimonials, how the builder builds. Did they take care of their problems down the road when they had issues? It's a very, very important thing. And one side note on that, if you do that, is you'll get an idea of what the neighbors are like in the neighborhood. Are there big complainers? Or
everybody's bitching on the thing, and it must be a bad neighborhood.
Yeah, so that is that is really, really important to do that. Step number 2. Number 3 is what type of a mortgage. Would it be a mortgage or will it be a construction loan?
So what do you mean? Like, what's the difference? Explain.
All right, so construction loan means that you get a loan for building the property, and the builder doesn't have enough money, isn't using their money to build a home. They're using your money to build a home. So you have to qualify for that. And what they will do is they will get paid, or what they call a draw, on certain percentages of completion or certain steps that have taken place, like the drywall's up, the shell's up, the drywall's up, the kitchen's installed, things like that. And they will get certain percentages as time goes through, and then at the very end, it will be converted from a construction loan to a mortgage, 30-year mortgage or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
On a mortgage, the builder has the money. You're walking with them through the completion of it. Most of them are probably close to completion, anyways. And then once it's done, you do a final walkthrough, what they call a punch list, make sure everything's done, and then you close on it on a mortgage. So there's no money out of your pocket, and it's really out of the builder's pocket. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get you.
Awesome. Number 4 is creative negotiations, and what this is in essence is about that builders do not like to reduce the price on their homes. And if you think about it, in a neighborhood, if you bought a home in the previous 4 or 5 months and the builder sold same identical house to you for less, that neighbor's not going to be too happy about it. First of all. Second of all, the builder wants to keep a certain value up in the neighborhood. So the best way to negotiate on something with a builder is with upgrades. Maybe you can get 2 or 3 upgrades at a reduced rate, so it entices you to go in and go along with it. But getting the price down.
Well, because a builder, like, that's what they do. They build, right? So to add a couple of upgrades for them is not that big a deal.
Right, and that's where they can kind of slice a little bit to where you feel like you're getting somewhat of a deal from
That's
it.
a good tip. That's a good tip.
No, the one thing about builders is that people forget builders are out there for one specific reason, and that's to make a profit.
Yeah.
They're a businessman just like anybody else.
Yeah.
So they're going to make a profit somewhere. You just kind of want to, hopefully they don't make it as much on you as they did maybe down the street. But you want to keep the values up in the neighborhood. That's very important.
So definitely look for upgrades. I mean, definitely to get yourself some more value. I agree with that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So number 5 is new construction guarantee. So there's a couple things here. There's one that the builder provides to the purchaser, and this is for 1 year typically, and it's for anything inside the house. For example, drywall will, sometimes you'll see cracks in the drywall, the mortar, something like that. They'll repair those. A light might go, they'll repair that. Certain things like that.
So And that's where I start getting nervous, right? You're going to guarantee your house you built for 1 year. That's it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well, when you buy a used home, there's no guarantee.
Right. No, I get it.
At
I get
all.
it. But it's a newly built home. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying think of other products that you have a 1 year warranty on. Home's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a goofy one.
Yeah, well, that's what builders do. That's where it's at. I don't know. Maybe that's something you can negotiate with them. I've never thought about that. That's a very interesting way to look at it. But I think that everything's new. What's the chances something's going to be that bad? But anyways, towards about 10, 11 months, you want to have that checklist of the things that you want the builder to fix or repair. And then reach out to the builder, have them come out before the end of the 12 months and have them come out and repair those things. And you're satisfied.
Yeah.
And you can move on. But typically, a new construction home, from when I've talked to builders, it's that first year where they're settling.
Yeah.
The house is being
Big settling,
used.
stuff like that. Sure.
There's a lot. It's being used, and at that point, within that about 10, 11 month period, pretty much anything that's going to go bad is going to go bad.
Yeah.
Except the foundation. Now, the foundation, there's a warranty. That's typically 10 years, and that's given by the foundation, the company that poured the foundation, and they'll have a warranty guarantee type of thing on that.
So, and like we always tell you too, folks, foundation's a big deal. Like, I don't know how many times I say this, but foundation issues, they're not repouring that thing for you.
No,
They're putting straps on it. They're doing all kinds. So you better make sure the foundation is good, because foundation fixes look ridiculous.
Yeah.
These don't look good.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a cover.
Right.
So you want to make sure that it's well built, and that's going back to researching the builder to make sure that those sort of things. I'll tell you what, people will tell you about the foundation of a property. If there's issues with that, you're going to know about that in the testimonials or in the comments. When you do your research.
So again, you're going back to that's still the most important one: research the builder.
Yeah, it's hugely important. And number 6, and this is very important as well: private inspection. Should you do one? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Always recommend it, because the private inspector will see things that maybe that the builder didn't complete or should have done, thinking that they didn't have to do it, and it protects you, and you can go back and ask the builder to do these sort of things. It's going to be towards the end of the completion of the property. The builder's not going to let you out of the contract, but as long as it's in there and it's in the contract, and you know to have it in there and explain that you want these things up to a certain price point or something, maybe repaired, you can negotiate something like that.
So that's kind of the interesting thing about new construction, is that the private inspection goes on the back end.
Yes.
Where on a regular purchase goes in the first 5 to 7 days. Yeah. So it's the opposite.
It's opposite. Yes.
And again, folks, we say this a lot on this show because we want to make sure that you're informed. You always want a private inspection. Okay. You always want a private inspection, because you want to make sure that you want to use somebody who knows what they're looking at, because you only buy a home, even let's say you move a lot, you only buy one 8, 10 years, you don't know what you're looking at, most people. So somebody knows what they're looking at, make sure they know what they don't tell you what's wrong with the home.
Yeah, private inspection is hugely important.
Absolutely.
Big mistake if you don't do it.
So give us the kind of the real quick list again of the 6
back over it?
things.
Okay.
Yeah, this is 6.
Make sure you have an agent represent you. Research the builder. Mortgage or construction loan. You really want to do a mortgage. You don't want to do a construction unless you really have to have this builder work for you. If it's a special builder, they were doing something, I totally get that you want to do that. It's going to be that builder's more than likely only going to build a few homes. Creative negotiations on the upgrades. That's where you can maybe get a better deal on it. New construction guarantee, and having a private inspection. Yes.
Okay, so those 6 things, folks. New construction. A lot of folks that they lean toward that, buying a lot of land and doing some new construction on it. We wanted to make sure we touched that, because folks realize new construction means growth. So a lot of new construction is happening. So that's another way the market is zooming, because there's lots of new construction going on, right?
Yeah.
You see cranes in the air, good things are happening in the economy.
We could use more new construction. I'll tell you that.
I would agree. I would agree with you. I would agree with that.
And even on affordable, more $200,000 to $300,000 price range would be a huge sale. If they would sell pretty fast, I would think.
I would agree with that, definitely. So, guys, remember the question for today is: if you were building your dream home, in the comments below, tell us what feature, what item, what specific setup you would love, and just it would blow your mind if you had that. I've seen so far. Now let me give you a couple of them so far. I've seen bare kitchen, hot tub area. I saw somebody makeup vanity. The Wilkowitzes have a makeup vanity. Folks on Colonial, they have a makeup room. It's badass. But I mean, I'm thinking of stuff like ridiculous tropical stuff, like the rain shower deal where it shoots at you from 6 different angles. I think maybe that'll be another topic. Is what are the most exotic things people put in their home?
What would you want?
Me, you know what? I just want the biggest entertainment space I possibly can get my hands on. That's what I'm looking for. Folks that don't know.
Like it's theater or something like that?
No, nothing quiet. Something like where people, I mean, like every amenity possible. Like the backyard oasis we talked about last week, right? I want the best possible outdoor kitchen / backyard oasis possible.
Yeah.
So that's where, I mean, and folks, a lot of you folks know I'm starting to shop for a home myself. So that's what we'll be looking for.
So I personally, what I would go for would be a outdoor kitchen.
Yep.
I would love to have an outdoor kitchen with a roof. And I have a cousin that added on the back of their house, and they've got a covered area, really nice covered area, and it's nice. It's a nice little area, additional family area off the family room. And another thing is a sauna. I would love to have a hot sauna.
So, you want to hear a smart ass comment? You ready?
Here we go.
My buddy goes, yeah, I would like my truck if I had good ball joints on it. Bill Polk, of course. Somebody put lake. I mean, man-made lake. I don't know. That'd be pretty interesting. What else? Let's see. We got. Somebody put walk-in closet just for me. Right, a big walk-in closet just for me. That's a nice thing. That's a nice feature. There's lots of houses with walk-in closets, but a nice specific one. Mike McLaughlin, one of our favorite lenders, said a cabana for the pool. That's kind of fun. But then you need a pool boy after that, then, like, right? So your wife's gonna need a pool boy, buddy.
All right, so what's up next?
So City Spotlight's coming up. Give me a little drum roll, Don. All right, so we thought hard about this one, the City Spotlight for this week, because we wanted something different. We've been talking about a lot of the similar areas that are kind of, some are higher price areas, lower prices. We wanted one with some real diversity to it. So the City Spotlight for this week, Don.
So I'll add a little bit to this about trying to find something a little more. I wanted to do the Boston Edison district.
Yep.
And Boston Edison district is in Detroit. It's off Woodward near Linwood, and it's right near the church down there. Huh?
Keep going.
So I looked in that area. There was not a single home on the market. It's 36 blocks, 900 homes, not a single home on the market.
No kidding.
Not a single home on the market.
So that was your first choice, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I wanted to do because it's a very interesting area.
No.
So there was a lot. So we ended.
So here is the City Spotlight for this week is Romulus, Michigan. Okay, Romulus, Michigan. Now, Don, give us some numbers. Tell us about active, pending, sold. Wait. So active is always right. Is homes that are on the market. Pending is homes that are under contract but have not closed. Okay, and then solds are homes that sold in the past. So active, pending, sold. So give us some active numbers.
31 current homes on the market, 51 pending. That number blows me away. The 51 pending.
So 20 more. So 20 more homes that are pending. Hey.
Yeah.
So the market, things are going up and being sold quickly.
It's selling there. Yeah. And
so you want to hear a weird number? Only 6 houses in the last 30 days sold in Romulus.
Yeah.
6.
So closed. That means closed.
Closed, right. So basically, everybody in Romulus was like, they were hiding in their house, not letting anybody close it.
Yeah. And then things started selling and pending.
Right, absolutely. So again, we keep telling you, the market is moving. So 51 pending means that things are going to accepted offer right away. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now, average sale price, $144K, $144,000 and that gets you 1,285 square feet typically. Okay. Now, Don, let's think about this for Romulus for a minute. Okay. My one hint to people: if you go to a house in Romulus during a showing, look up. If you see a bunch of planes flying by, it's probably close to the airport, not a good buy for you. So that's my one Romulus piece of advice. Look up. Like Isaiah Thomas used to say in a commercial, look up. But I don't see anything. Look up. If you see planes, probably not a good move. But why else would you think Romulus? What else would draw you?
Because it has big lots. The outer circle of Romulus has some big lots.
Yep.
And there's some new construction in Romulus. So over by the golf course over here on Van Born and Merriman, there's some new
Gateway?
homes. Gateway, yeah.
Yep, Gateway, yep. So
new construction here, newer homes. I think in the south end, some of them are Brownstown and here on Township area. Right in that area, there's some Romulus properties.
There's a ton. Not a ton, but there's a lot of homes that had that Brownstown, Woodhaven sub feel, that $300,000, $325,000, $400,000 feel that are in Romulus right on the edge there.
Yeah.
Like I've sold a couple in there like that. It just you get a little bit of a price break, I feel like, but you still get an amazing, amazing home.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And it's like we say, country in the city type of thing.
Yeah.
You're close to everything. So what's Romulus High School? What's the mascot?
Romulus High School. First of all, home of John Long, Piston. Home of Terry Mills, Piston. Guess what the mascot is?
The Eagles.
The Romulus Eagles.
So when you said to look up, I thought you were talking about seeing eagles.
No. So City Spotlight is Romulus. So that's the one for this week. Hopefully Boston Edison will get some homes on the market so we can make something happen there, because that would be an interesting one for me. I would be interested in that.
Yeah, Detroit has some awesome areas that are
some
really
sweet neighborhoods. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So guys, again, the question again for the show is, in your dream home, like you're thinking, dream home, I love this place, I can't believe how amazing it is. What is the one feature that you would make sure you have? What exotic, crazy, cool feature would you have? Put that in the comments below, and then we'll go and we'll take a look at it. We'll give them some shout outs for the most interesting ones. All right?
All right, so up next, fan of the show.
Fan of the show. Now, if you don't know the rules of fan of the show is this. Once we divulge the name of the fan of the show, then you go crazy. You throw all kinds of the person's name in there over and over and over again, and all kinds of whoop whoop and emojis and everything else. So that's what we're asking for from the audience. Give us the emojis, give us the craziness. That's what we want. So the fan of the show, now give me the drum roll again. This person that talks to us outside the show is always a fan, is always here, and it is Miss Pat Antonosian from Dearborn Heights District 7, a Dearborn Heights, Dogborn Heights lady. Pat. Give us some Pats in the comments. Where's all the crazy Pats at? We got Pats, look at that. Thumbs up going everywhere. Pat. So how do you become a fan of the show or the fan of the show? We just got to see you here on a regular basis. We got to see you in the Talking Real Estate group that we have, Facebook group that we have, and just interacting with us, asking questions, being excited, and enjoying the show. So past fan of the show, Kathy Wilkowitz has popped in. So let's get a little more going. Pat. Big Pat Antonosian in the house. She is an amazing fan. We love you, Pat. We think you're the greatest of all time. All right? So that's that.
So what's up next?
So another topic for us to talk about today is we're talking about for sale by owners. Now, Don, this one hit me this week. I had a friend/client. They grew up next door to my mom's house and said, can you help us with this for sale by owner? So I sat down with them in the for sale by owner Monday, and it made me thinking a lot about stuff like what. I know we get this a lot, and again, folks, I'm going to get some nasty gram comments on this that you can sell for sale. It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. Okay, there are somebody in this audience today that has sold for sale by owner before. I get it. All right,
it happens.
But the majority of homes don't do it. All right, majority of homes don't do it. But there's a lot of things, a lot of challenges for buyer and for seller. So I want to walk through and talk about buyer and seller challenges for sale by owner. Okay, and the Italian phrase for it is Fizbo. If you take the initials there, hey, old Fizball. That's the Italian version of it, all right?
Sounds like meatball.
It is meatball Fizball.
Like
all right, so I've got 6, Don. I've got 6 things that make it a challenge to sell a home for sale by owner. Okay, and you jump in whenever you feel like you got something good or whatever.
Ask you questions.
I know you will, absolutely. And again, it triggered it by a young man that's buying a for sale by owner. I'm kind of helping him out.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about first thing is price. Okay. Typically, price is going to be out of line. Okay. Why would you think that is?
Well, because I don't know if sellers actually have an idea of what the real market is. If they don't have anybody out there representing them, where are they going to get that information from?
Well, you know where they get it from? I'll tell you where they get it from. They get it from, well, my neighbor 2 streets down sold for this much, right? That's always my neighbor did, some neighbor did this, and they have no idea the feature difference or anything.
You know, and I've talked to people about that, and I go back, and it might have sold a year or so ago. It ends up, sometimes it was a year or longer, which you can't really use as a comparable, and it's not always that amount that that person had told them.
Right, somebody's BSing. Because your neighbors are bullshitting you. That's what it is.
Or they didn't tell you about the concessions that they gave to the buyer to get the home. So
right. So remember, seller concessions. So like if they said they sold for $200 and the seller they gave $5,000 for closing costs to the buyer, now all of a sudden it's $195. So another point about price is a lot of times folks look at their house and go, and it's I understand, it's understandable, okay? I put this $10,000 bathroom in my house, okay? Or I paid for that roof and it's 12 grand. So what do? They take their house and they add that number on, right? That's what they do. They add the number onto the thing like that. And it gets the price usually out of whack.
Yeah, you don't get full value for a new kitchen. When you sell it, you don't get full value of the...
Right. So. I mean, it's definitely, that's the first thing. Usually for sale by owner. My cousin Pat was going to try to buy it for sale by owner early in his process when we helped him buy his house. It was on Covington Street. I remember the street name. And the guy came with just this number. I'm going, there's no way in hell you're getting that. There's no way we're giving you that number. There's no way. You know what I mean? Because it's not... They don't do this every day like we do, so they don't have the ability to figure out what the number is. So again, the number one is price. That's the first thing, okay? And also realize too, people that shop for sale by owners are looking for a deal because they figure you're not paying a commission, so you're going to give them a deal. So in price, both those things factor in.
Somebody's going to make out on it.
Right, absolutely. So number two, yeah, no kidding. Number two is pre-approval. Does the seller have the gumption or the knowledge to call a lender and ask the right questions?
Right. That is a hugely important thing in our business.
Right. And I mean, I could just tell you that I've seen for sale by owners or even just sellers go, or are they pre-approved? That's not a magic word. Pre-approved doesn't mean it's not a magic word.
What if they were pre-qualified?
Right. Or absolutely. Or what if they're pre-approved by Mickey Mouse Mortgage Company? Right. So here's the questions that a good realtor is going to ask. They're going to call the mortgage lender. They're going to call them up and go, hey, look it. Do they have the assets to close? That's the first question, right? Do they have the money to close? Okay. Two, they're going to say, are their debt to income ratios in line? Now, does it mean that a mortgage owner is going to tell you all that stuff? No, but we phrase it in a way that's like conversational that gives us that information.
Right.
Because a pre-approval by a BS mortgage company doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay. Two is when we're talking about pre-approvals, there are some lenders out there that are big lenders that are notorious for having their own appraisal company or be connected to an appraisal company, and their appraisals come in low. You don't know that. You know what I mean? For sale by owner doesn't know that. So that's the second thing, a pre-approval. First was price, now we're talking pre-approval. Okay. Three, marketing. I know that for sale by owners work really hard and get the sign from Walmart and they put the lettering on it and all that stuff, and I get that, they put it in front of their house. Buyers buy on the internet now. That 90 to 95% of all buyers are searching on the internet, okay? And can for sale by owners get in some for sale by owner sites? Sure. Maybe the MLS? Sure, it's possible, okay? But realtor sites, we have thousands of them. I mean, I get homes.com, realtor.com, Zillow. I mean, there's a bazillion of them.
Right.
Our MLS bleeds to all of those magically on its own, right? So you're going to get the most marketing from having a realtor, right?
You know what? Talking about the marketing and how we get more buyers to a property is, if you think about it, that most of the buyers are being represented by an agent.
Yep.
So that whittles down how many potential buyers are out there for sale by owners. And if that's the case, that's a smaller number. Plus, you have to reach them. How are you going to reach them? What are you going to use to reach them to get your marketing to them? With our multiple listing service, it goes out to all the agents who share it with all their buyers that they represent, which most agents are most 3 to 5, 6 buyers at a time. That's a lot of people that add up, and it can sell for a lot faster. So that time frame for how long to get the more people you have interested in your house, the better price you're going to get.
Right,
for your house.
absolutely.
So,
you don't want to be the best kept secret in your town. You don't want to be that. So again, the marketing part. So we had price, we had pre-approval, marketing. The fourth one is prep for the sale. And you and I, Don, we've talked about this several times in the show. A realtor can say, hey, look at, declutter this, it's going to look better. Take care of this, it's going to show better. So we know how to set you up in a way that the house is going to show better. It might get you that extra 5, 10, 12 grand because it shows better. Because more people want it. Not because of you put a new something in, but because it just looks better. Most for sale by owners, and again, I say most for sale by owners, they just kind of clean things up and it's fine. Right? It's one of those things. So I had a quick question I saw. My Aunt Chris, who was a big fan of the show as well, said MLS, people don't know what that is. So I'll explain that. We talked about marketing.
Good point.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The MLS is called the multi-listing service. Don and I and every realtor that has a license pays a fee to be on what's called a multi-listing service. So if we list a house in Dearborn, it gets listed and thousands and thousands of agents see it. So a multi-list service is a way to get things out to more people. And again, once you list it there, they're connected to real estate websites that take it further and further and just kind of branches out. Right. So, Aunt Chris, I appreciate you looking out for me. You're always my best assistant. Don't tell my mom that.
It starts there.
Yep.
That's where the beginning. Once we put that information in there, then it becomes public knowledge that it's on the market, and then it filters out to all the other websites, Zillow, Realtor.com.
Yeah, absolutely. So back to 4, prep for the sale. Again, most FSBOs, when they say as is, they mean as is. Okay, that means that definitely that the property hasn't really been touched. I'm not paying a commission 1. I'm not doing extra work 2.
Right.
So I'm not getting my house ready. Right. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a bummer.
And you know, the interesting about that is not everybody knows that there's a city inspection required in a certain city. And if it's as is, like for example, Taylor, it's really on the buyer. You buy a house without a certificate of occupancy, they're going to be coming knocking on the door and they're going to be talking to the buyer, the new owner of the home, to bring the house up to code. And if you didn't know anything about that, you would be stuck with it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's you have to have that to occupy the home. You know what I mean? You have to have that to occupy the home. Right. So the last 2 I'm going to say are the most important ones. So I have a family reunion going on during the show where my sister and my aunt are saying hello to each other. So number 5 is process. Okay. Does a for sale by owner, does that person know the process? And I mean, I'll just tick off a couple of them. Who's going to order the title work? Right? Who's going to check on the title work? Who's going to meet the appraiser? Okay, when do you do a walkthrough? That doesn't, you lose that professionalism of somebody who does this every day, day in and day out, and knows the steps. Like for Don and I say this to clients all the time. I do this every day, you don't. So I know the steps backward, forward, and sideways, and I'm going to walk you through them. Okay, with no realtor involved in the transaction, that doesn't happen most times.
Yeah, you know, the one thing about that process part is a prime inspection. There's going to be some things wrong with the house. More likely, how do you negotiate that? How does a buyer and seller do that? I mean, do they really negotiate that, or does somebody ignore it and just move on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like diagnosing yourself instead of going to a doctor. Yeah. Right? Like that person knows your body, knows the body, human body. Yeah. Like we know this business well enough that it can be. I always promise people. I say, look, I'm going to take a lot of the stress off you. There won't be no stress, but we're going to take most of the stress for it because we know what we're doing. Right. You know what I mean? So that's number 5 is process. And then the last one, the craziest one of all, is how much time do you have to work on the sale? Most for sale by owners, unless they're retired, and even retirees don't want to put a bunch of time in. If you got a job and you got kids and you got activities, how much time do you want to spend? Now, Don, I read the other day, I was just looking at, and this is a shorter list, okay, but that there's 183 things a realtor does. They're involved in the process. I know, folks. I know you think we just drive around and we just throw the sign in the ground and we do like Vanna White and go, "Hey, here's this home." I know that's what people think. That's really not the truth. So if you go look up 183 things a realtor does, it's a list of just all these things. Now, ask yourself this. If you just did a quarter of those, let's say a quarter, that's like almost 50 things. That's 45, 50 things. Do you really want to do 45 or 50 things during the sale of your home? I mean, it's just craziness. So let me walk back through this again. The challenges for sale by owners face and buyers of for sale by owners face is the price is usually out of line. Nobody has any clue about the pre-approval if it's good or not. The marketing is non-existent. The house probably isn't prepped for a sale. The process is slow and it's always like a renegotiation, basically, right? Because you never know when things are going to stop. And then finally, do you have the time? Like I don't know about you, but you were here all day today, yeah? Working your tail off, right? Yeah. I was here last night till 11 working. Like I wasn't just sitting around doing nothing. So if we're working full time, cranking this out all the time, how much time do you want to spend on selling your home? Yeah. So definitely, for sale by owner, definitely a challenge.
So, but we want to make it clear that you can do it. It happens.
Yep.
Not a lot, but it does happen, and you have that option. So,
but I guess
you
that
add a
is-
lot of value. But whatever you do, at least talk to one or two realtors, just so you know what they can possibly do for you, and maybe end up with more in your pocket than you realize.
Yeah, I think if you don't use a realtor, you're leaving money on the table.
You could, yes.
I think you're leaving
Just
money on the
educate
table.
yourself. More than anything, educate yourself. Make sure you're aware of that possibility and what you could possibly do to put more money into your pocket.
I think, yeah, like I said, I think you're just leaving too much money on the table if you don't use a realtor. That's my personal shtick on it. So.
All right, so up next is stories from the street.
Well, before stories from the street, I got something. Okay, and I think so, folks. We're gonna change the format of the show. Man, Tom Borelli, Central Michigan University wrestling coach, is watching. It looks like. Coach Borelli, how are you, sir? How's life up in Mount Pleasant? Sorry to throw that one in. Sorry. We're going to change the format of the show a little bit, or we're going to try to give you more value. Next week, we're going to start with having guests because the state's open again. So we're going to try to have at least a guest every week or every couple weeks to see. And it's going to be some of the value. I've reached out to a gentleman. We're going to see if he can make it John Green from Morris Moving. So hopefully John can make it in and sit down with us, and we can ask him some questions, and I guarantee he'll have a story from the street. So Johnny Green from Morris Moving, hopefully we'll have him next week.
Seems like he would have a really good story. You know,
Absolutely.
moving,
You're kidding me.
Moving a house or something, all the stuff there, there's got to be some good stuff. I'm excited about that.
So, and Don, I think there's a lot of ancillary or other business folks that have some hand or some deal in real estate. I think we're gonna have all kinds of good stuff for you over the next coming weeks. So make sure you tune in and keep tuning in.
Well, if you think about how important real estate is and how big it economically is in the country, it's a very important part of the economic machine and all these different ancillary things, like you said, moving.
And then also, I'm still trying to talk Don into going to a restaurant. We're thinking about 2 weeks from now hitting a restaurant in the city spotlight. We don't know yet. We still have to make sure it's safe and all that kind of stuff. But you know me, I want to get some good food while I'm working.
He's not missing any, so don't worry. Don't worry about that. Don't sleepless night.
All right. So, do you want a story from the street?
We do. I guess we do.
All right. So, story from the street. Here's what we got. This one's going to involve again my good friend Bill Polk. Story from the street.
Maybe we should call this stories from the Polks.
Story from the Polks? No, because there's only one Polk. So story from Bill.
Okay.
So we can call it Bill Polk's life. No, that's not nice. Coach Polk is a hardworking guy.
I'm not.
He's a good dude.
That,
but here is the story from the street for me. So we went up north again and again. I know the market's crazy, but my friends and people I care about are important too. So I promised them. I said I'd go up north with them again and look at some homes. We went up to Lake George area in Harrison, in Michigan there. And there was one on the list that we got. Don, he wants to be on water, okay? So he wants to be on water. So everybody's got water. But when you're getting out of the metro and you're looking at lakes, first of all, you don't know what a lake is outside the metro, what constitutes a lake. So we went to this one house. First, the water in the backyard looked like a pond somebody kind of dug. It had like grass growing out of it and stuff, so it didn't look like a lake. We walk up, and this dude with a freaking goatee, not a goatee, but like a ZZ Top beard, walks up to us. He's like, "You guys want to look at this here house?" And again, I'm not poking fun at people. I'm just and the lady, she comes up limping, walking up to us all limping, like hand on leg, leg all messed up and stuff. And kids are running around everywhere. So listen to this. We get in the house, and it's a bigger home. The lake homes we were looking at were kind of smaller because the lake's expensive, right? But this house was bigger. So we're looking, and it's like, okay, we're walking through it, and it just had that creepy feeling. You ever get that creepy feeling when you show my house?
Yeah.
It had a creepy feeling. And Bill looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me. And again, we're big wrestling coaches. Like, we've wrestled and coached for like 20-some years, so we're not wimps, okay? He looks at me, and he goes, "Make sure you have my back." And the lady kept popping out of weird spots and stuff. Like, I was afraid.
Yeah.
We were in the house for like 12 minutes. We hustled our asses and got out of there because it was like I was waiting for the music. I was scared. I was afraid, man. It was so, folks. Yes, there are some listings that are scary to go to, and Bill and I went to a scary listing this week, not on Lake George, but somewhere pretending to be Lake George.
Thank goodness that doesn't happen too often.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
You can get some freakouts, that's for sure.
What the heck?
Some
I mean,
scary, yes.
Like I'm not afraid to go hardly anywhere. I've been, all over the place. And it's just like, ooh, man. So do you have a story from the street?
I do. I have one that.
Okay.
This is probably over 10 years ago.
Is it a creepy story?
It's very similar to that. It was a strange story.
So here's a creepy one from Don Lawrence. Listen close.
So I had a woman call me and asked me to go take a look at this house, do a market analysis, and the ex was there, and didn't have a phone. And I knocked on the door, went in, had my briefcase and my paperwork, and just something did not feel right. It was just really spooky. I don't know what was going on in his head, but it just made me feel very uncomfortable.
Like, was he hovering over on you?
No, he wasn't. But just he was looking at me very suspiciously, like I had something going on with his ex or something. I had no idea what it was. But this house was a big wide opening for the kitchen, into the kitchen from the living room. Bedrooms were in the back, and the bathroom was back there. And so I had to walk all the way through the house. I looked I don't even think I looked at the bedrooms or anything. I just walked back there.
He's like, I will not go there.
And I took the paperwork with me. I left my briefcase, and I was so spooked that I was about to drop the paperwork, run out that front door, and leave my briefcase, and just get the heck out of there. So it was a very, very uncomfortable situation.
So, all right. So, folks, look at this gentleman right here. Do you really think this all-American guy could be unscrupulous? There's no way possible.
Yeah, I don't think that was it. I don't know what was going on, but I can still remember that feeling of being I was spooked out, man. It was just crazy.
All right, so the theme for the day is real estate can sometimes be spooky, just so you know, all right? And so...
It's not usually. Usually it's not. Pretty typical, mundane, but... I shouldn't say mundane, but just going through a house typically is. So sometimes you see some cool things, and then sometimes you have situations like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, situation where you think somebody's got a baseball bat to your head or something.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Again, folks, keep tuning in every week. We love the fact that you do. There's lots of faces that we see every week, week in, week out. We're going to crank up and make it more interesting. John Green, like I said, is supposed to be on next week's show. He's a pretty busy guy, so I kind of got to confirm, but not for sure yet. So we're hoping he's going to be on. And ready for next week's commercial, because the commercials are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
I want to say something.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is okay with you, but it's okay with me. If you want to share this on your Facebook pages and share with people you know, feel free to do it.
Yeah,
are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all we're trying to do, again, the show is more about sharing knowledge and information with folks. It really is.
And having fun.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Don and I have fun with this. If you can't see that, most of you can. I get comments like that all week. Yeah. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah. And we just talking about during the week and setting up what we're going to talk about.
Like hell, even that commercial, Lisa had a ball on that. But so look for another crazy commercial from us. It'll come out Monday. If you haven't joined the Talking Real Estate Facebook group, we add little behind the scenes stuff. We saw Don coming as running back today. Talking Real Estate Facebook group. We're going to probably have outtakes from commercials, because it usually takes us a couple of takes. And I always say something dumb, right? Because that always happens.
We both do.
Yeah, it's always like, you know what I mean? So, guys, for the evening, you know how we're going to end this. I'm Scott.
I'm Don.
And we're talking real estate.